What is your opinion on pictures in a resume?
It's a hard one. I think that if the girl gives a picture, if the guy asks for a picture and the girl gives it, then the guy should be giving one back as well. I think it should be two-sided. But in general, I think we live in a world now in the 21st century where it's hard not to. It's really hard to go out like blind date and go without seeing a picture because the guys are flooded, hopefully with resumes. And in order to choose one, that's a lot of times what they're basing it off of, and then they'll look into it. So I feel that if you don't give one, you're kind of at the bottom of the list automatically. So just for your own sake, it's worth it. It kind of pushes you up on top of the list. So I think that everyone should ask their own Rav and make sure they're comfortable with it. But I do feel that it will benefit you ultimately.
If I can jump in here for a minute, I recently interviewed a girl who adamantly refused to post her picture. And she opted instead. She said, I will give you a very detailed blurb of myself because I want to know that the guy is interested in me for me, not because of my picture. And I thought that was pretty clever. And she did give a very, very detailed blurb of herself. And it's quite interesting. So I think that she felt she wanted somebody to be in, I guess she was giving herself a chance also by describing herself and being very descriptive and what her interests were. And I think that she was quite clever in doing that. Just wanted to add that in.
I think, though, that oftentimes people, when they're not given a picture, they kind of automatically assume that the person's not attractive, and that's why they don't want to give their picture. That has been my experience. So I do make sure that I tell the girls at least that let me see the picture. Meaning if I don't know you personally, I want to make sure I can at least put in a good word for you. If you're not going to, I just want to be able to at least stay.
Vouch for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If I could add to be a little controversial, I'm actually very in favor of pictures. I find myself even that if a single is on our website without a picture, I feel like I get less of a sense of them. Aside from how good looking a person is, I feel like if you look into someone's eyes or you look at their face, you can get a little bit of a sense of their personality. And for me, I feel like that helps in trying to set people up.
I feel like today there is so much, people have so much exposure everywhere. And if they're not going to see the picture from the girl, they're going to find it somewhere. Everyone has pictures. Practically everyone in the crowd that we're dealing with has pictures online, is on Facebook, is somewhere. And most people have no problem going to search for a picture of that person, and they'll tell me, oh, I saw her here, there, and everywhere. So sometimes it pays to present yourself the way you want to be presented and give the picture that you want to give. To that end, there are pictures on the Oorah website of some that I feel like should be replaced because I know these girls and the guys, and they don't look like that. They didn't give in their best picture. So sometimes I'll tell them, maybe you should call up, and make sure that the picture that you have there is one that best represents who you are, and it's not either old or something that you don't really want to represent you, because most of these guys
right there,
easily find the girl.
Maybe right there you see the proof that the pictures are not really accurate, because the ones that you see them on the picture and you know that that's not really what they look like. So that proves that these pictures are really not accurate.
I know, but that's what people are basing it on. And again, if they're not giving them pictures, then they're finding one, because that's what everyone is doing.
I think it honestly depends on the situation. I would say it's not a clear yes or no. I'll give you an example where I think it's appropriate. For example, If two couples, I live in California, if the other person lives in the tri-state area, I would hate to, if you don't send a picture, I would hate to send the couple to the other coast only to find out that there's no attraction there. So I realize it's just a picture, and I realize that people don't necessarily look like their picture, and we certainly don't want people to be judging someone solely on their picture. But I do think that if someone is just way off for them and there's just not, I never tell people, are you attracted to them? I say, is this person pleasant appearing to you? I always say that there shouldn't be, if you have a wow, that's just infatuation. And we know that infatuation is not a good method for dating. On the other hand, if someone lives locally, I just set up a couple who live literally 2-3 minutes away from each other. In that situation, I say, what do you have to lose? And just give it a try. You're so close. There's no harm being done. Especially if I know, I need to be respectful. Also, a lot of girls, for example, for tsanua reasons, or the Rav has suggested to them not to exchange pictures. And I happen to know that maybe the girl is unusually, maybe actually is very pretty. I'll tell the guy, just trust me on this one. I think that you will find her attractive. And again, what do you have to lose? So I think it depends on their location and the situation, and we'd have to be respectful. It's typically the girl that's hesitant to send a picture, just because, again, of modesty reasons.
Can I make a comment?
Let me ask you this, Stella.
Yes.
If you were suggesting somebody from one coast to the other, would you faster suggest that maybe they do a Zoom rather than just exchange a picture?
Sometimes yes, but it depends on the situation again. I have a girl, like I said, that I set up right now, and a couple, and they're both very reserved. So I think Zoom sometimes can be very overwhelming, because I treat Zoom as if it was a real date, meaning that the girl actually goes out and I tell him, make yourself up. If you normally wear makeup, dress up as if you were going out on the date. Some girls might find that intimidating when they don't know someone. And of course, again, they might be reserved. And so starting a conversation by looking at each other might be awkward. So what I do is I ask the couple, we always want the input of the couple. We don't want to make all the decisions for them, because I find if you give them some level of autonomy, you get better cooperation from them. So I would say, let's try, are you comfortable with the Zoom date? If they both say yes, great. But if one is hesitating, but they both hesitate, then I'll say, you know what, let's just try the phone one time or 2 times, and then we'll move forward.
Mrs. Ajmi, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. As much as the boys all request a picture and base it on a picture, I find the girls are doing the same thing, and they're being just as hard as the boys are with the pictures. So if we could do away with pictures, it would have to be for both sides. But the girls, I think, are definitely getting just as picky as the boys are.
Do you think that it's more of an equality thing, that they say, well, if it's good for him, then I'm also demanding?
No, I think that the girls want to look at pictures and see if they're attracted, and it has nothing to do with because the boys saw I want to see.
So first of all, I don't know if you all saw Rav Bridney by the Good Convention. Did you see that discussion about the shidduchim? So he very clearly said that there's nothing wrong with seeing a picture, and all through the generations, people always wanted to see what the girl looks like, and there's really nothing wrong with that. The problem is maybe just that the boys have a lot of pictures on their phone, but that's a different issue. It has nothing to do with, the shidduch pictures to begin with. So that was like, I could send you the link to it. It's a very good thing to listen to. Now, that being the case, aside from if you want to say hashkafa or any other reason, my reason why I do not like pictures in the beginning is because I feel that there's something very, very important about a first impression. And I feel like if the first impression is a picture, which is everybody knows pictures are not real, then you're getting a very fake first impression, and you're just losing yourself out. For your own self, you're losing out. So I try to tell the boys, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm trying to help you that first get a first impression. After you get a first impression, I'll send you the picture. And I think that it makes a very big difference that way.
I'd like to just share a story. I had set up a couple, and also, they were very excited about the info that they heard about each other, but they didn't want to finalize going out on a date until they exchanged pictures. We did that, and basically I got a no from the girl. She was not happy with what he looked like. I didn't hear that from her, but after not really giving me any real excuse why she was saying no, I spoke to her Rebbetzin, and that's what I heard. She was very unimpressed with his looks. I suggested that we try phone dating because they were out of town. This was before Zoom was popular. This was before Corona. And they actually had 2 phone call dates. It went so well, they agreed to meet. And they both drove in and met, in an in-between state. They went out on a couple of dates. It ended up not working out, nothing to do with looks and everything like that. But once they got to know each other, it really took off for a while, so I'm very not into pictures. And I've also seen where pictures are so different than what the person actually looks like. A resume that I got that came with the picture, I didn't even recognize the person in the picture, and I worked with her on a regular basis. So I don't know what to tell you, but pictures to me are very not real.
Exactly.
Did anyone read the TED this week? They had a section on shidduchim, and they were just giving stories. And one story was that the boy really liked the girl. Everything was good, but she had a big nose and he couldn't get past the attraction. And he even told her, and she was willing to do a nose job. And he's like, I just can't get past it. And then I don't remember exactly how it went, but he ended up marrying her, and he got engaged, and just one thing after the other, they didn't have time to get, her nose fixed. And 2 kids later, she said, all right, I'm settled. I'm fine. Everything's good. I'm making an appointment to have my nose. And he goes, you're going to ruin that gorgeous nose of yours? So once someone gets to see the person, that's why I also don't like the pictures, is once someone sees the person and they get the personality. I never thought I'd marry my husband. He was not the look I was looking for at all. That one first date, I was like, oh, you know what? So I feel like it's different for a girl. A girl could make the attraction grow. We see the guys from the inside out, where the guys see the girls from the outside and then go inside to see what she's about. But I do think that given enough time, hopefully the boys can get past that little incident and see the beauty of her.
What is your most frustrating aspect about shidduchim?
I think maybe some of the guys who have like such a list of they want to go out with this girl and this girl and this girl, and they don't really know what they want, and sometimes that's a little bit difficult because whoever you fix them up with, they might not agree to it because they think they're going to find someone better.